Hi, I'm Kathy Ramos from the Intensive English Institute. I'm here with Captain Rhoda Clark of University Police. We're going to be talking about what to do when you get pulled over by the police or when you get stopped by the police. Thank you so much, Captain Clark, for being here with me today. I appreciate your time. Can you tell us what we're supposed to do if we're driving and we see a police officer with their lights on and the siren on behind us? What should we do?
Okay. The best thing to do is find a good location, safe location that you can pull over to the right. You always pull to the right. The officers are trained to pass on the left.
Okay.
If an officer is actually stopping you for a violation, they will pull in behind you.
Okay.
And stop as well. But
so that doesn't change your action. Your action, or the driver's action, is to pull over, and that's...
Correct.
Okay.
The driver's action is to pull over.
Okay.
And then same if you meet a car that's coming at you that has its lights and siren on, you need to pull to the right and yield the right of way.
Okay, so even if they're not behind you, they're coming at you.
Correct.
You do the same thing.
Whether it be police cars, ambulance, fire truck, whatever it may be with the lights on.
Okay. What happens if there's not a good place to pull over? Or what does a good place to pull over mean? Can you pull over in the middle of the, not in the middle of the road, but just off to the side of the road, even if there's not a really good way for other cars to pass you?
Depending on the road, you can, if both sides are pulling over, that's going to leave the middle of the roadway for the emergency vehicle to pass. I would not recommend pulling up to where, like, say, a street is, because that may be the street that the vehicle is going to be turning on.
Okay.
So you want to be careful about where you pull over. Maybe if you pull over at a driveway, it's maybe a road's getting ready to split from 2 lanes into 4, and that'll give them more room. Just try to get over as far as you can, as safely as you can.
Okay. And so let's say that someone is driving and the police officer does pull in behind them. So they've been pulled over by the police. Now what should they do?
They should sit in the vehicle, hands on the steering wheel, and wait for the officer to either approach or start to give some type of direction over the PA, which is the microphone that's attached to the radio system in the car. Okay.
And so when the police officer comes to the door, or comes to the driver's door, what should I expect if I'm getting pulled over? How should I react? How should I behave? What should I expect to present to this police officer?
Okay. Well, the officer's always going to be looking to see if they can see your hands. So you're never going to go looking for anything in the vehicle until you're instructed to do so. Depending on the location of the stop, the officer may approach on the driver's side or they may approach on the passenger side.
Okay.
So be prepared to roll the window down and listen to what the officer has to say.
Okay.
Most generally, they're going to tell you who they are and why they stopped you, and then they're going to ask, is your driver's license in the vehicle with you? And then you can tell them where it is. And they may ask you to get it at that time, and they'll ask the same for the vehicle registration, and ask where it is in the vehicle, and then ask you to retrieve that. You give the documents to them. They usually go back to the car, whether they're going to write a citation, check the driver's license status or the validity of the plate, whatever. Then they're going to come back to that person and explain to them whether they're going to need to take action or whether it's a warning or verbal warning, whatever the case may be.
What happens if that person does not have their driver's license or the registration in the car?
Then they're going to ask for that information, and the officer's going to write that information down and go back and check it anyway. They may get a citation for that, for not having it with them, and usually they'll give them time to come to the department and present that, and that citation can be taken care of.
Okay.
But they should try to carry that with them at all times.
Okay.
And insurance cards as well. If they're involved in an accident, they'll need the insurance card, vehicle registration, and a driver's license.
Okay.
So those are the 3 things that they would ask for at an accident scene.
So you should always have those when you're driving.
Right. The insurance card and the registration should stay in the vehicle.
Okay.